Hmm. Why does it feel like everything in Alaska that we have for our youth when it comes to development or education seems to be failing from the past years? I would think that from a state like Alaska, on how we are rich on other resources as gas and oil, I don't know about the gas, but oil for sure. You would think that we would have funds to put in our educational systems a lot. As in today, I've seen another one. It feels like it keeps going, plummeting down and down. Let's go and take a look at this. Right now, it says the Boys and Girls Club of South Central Alaska ends operations. Let's go and listen to what they have to say. It seems like
We are all
everything
about your eyes here at
is
Tap My
going
Eye
down.
Vision Center. From complicated eyeglass and contact lens prescriptions.
Like that's I just don't understand. Like not long ago, I was sitting down with some people that are in positions to further our educations, and I need to talk to more people in more leadership positions right now to understand what they are doing, because that is very needed. You need to know. Let's go ahead and watch this.
You're watching Alaska's news source.
Well, tonight, one of the state's most recognized youth organizations is closing its doors, leaving families searching for childcare and after-school options.
The Boys and Girls Club of South Central Alaska says years of financial strain have pushed the program to a breaking point. Joe Allgood spoke to the CEO to learn why it has come to this.
The unfortunate announcement that the Boys and Girls Club of South Central Alaska is closing might come as a shock to those who rely on its child care services and programs. And by the end of this month, they're going to have to look elsewhere for those same services.
Yo, it's like already with this SNAP program being cut away, it's like parents are already finding it hard to adjust with like the funds on having to take some funds that they already didn't plan on buying certain foods and other stuff for their kids, and now the after school programs being added on them. Like what are things that are put into positions to help parents that are not fortunate enough to do those stuff?
Unfortunately, just looking at the situation and having to make the painful decision that the board did, we need to cease operations, and we need to look to restructuring in a different way.
From changes in funding streams to inflated costs and a decrease in contributions, CEO Susan Anderson said a string of challenges left the Boys and Girls Club of South Central Alaska financially flailing.
We relied heavily on federal funds, so that environment has changed throughout the years, and especially just recently. You know, the giving of individuals, that has changed over time, especially recently. You look at the cost of everything you were just talking about, it's only gone up.
According to publicly available tax documents and ProPublica, the nonprofit ran a deficit 4 out of 5 years between 2019 and 2023. The last year totaling $3.5 million in the red.
Wow,
This is
in the red. That is crazy. Like even if I say like things have gotten very much expensive in Alaska, not only when it comes to food items, but when it comes to rent and many other things that are going on, which is causing homelessness and which also is raising our crimes. And crime in youth have been raising too a lot. That is something I want to talk about today too. But let's finish this one, because that is a very major problem, and this is where it stems from, right here. And if we don't take care of this position, that is going to turn into the crime department, and it's going to affect many other problems.
The most incredibly difficult thing that is happening, and it's just it makes me very sad, and I feel for the families and the kids and our employees.
In a child care landscape that is already limited.
There's a shortage, and I think that we have talked about this. People have talked about this here in our state, at least for the last year and some, of how important child care is, and there's not enough of it.
The
Yes,
last day
sir.
for child care services at this location and Turnagain Elementary will be December 24th, and the last day of work for the staff at those locations will be December 26th. Joe Allgood, Alaska's news source.
And the Boys and Girls Club of the Kenai Peninsula is not affiliated with South Central and will not be ceasing operations. Kenai Peninsula has 7 clubhouses, including in Kasilof, Nikiski, Seward, and Soldotna.
Transform your ordinary ride into a
Where do that leave the Mountain View one? I wonder where do that leave the if this is happening. And let's keep in mind in Mountain View, many of our kids, this is a place for them. The Boys and the Girls Club is a place for them to go. And lately, even when it comes to funding in feeding the people and the homeless there, the funding been very low. I've been paying attention to. And that is something we need to change. I need to sit down and talk to certain people, I don't know, in the community. If anybody knows who I need to go talk to or direct me to that place. And with what's been going on, let's go to Facebook and see some of the comments from the parents that actually have their kids go to this places. This is from the page. It says, let's see. It's really hard taking this news as a single mom who has been receiving daycare here since March. I have grown so much meaningful connections with my son's teachers. They have always cared for him and so well and kept up with in the loop with messages, pictures throughout the day, etc. See, there is a parent right there that's expressing their frustration because their child have gone there and is mingling. We all know Alaska have one of the biggest rates of depression and suicide. And things like this help very, very much to parents. I was an employee at the Masu locations for a short period of the time. I fell in love with being a mentor, helping the kids solving problems. Watching their personalities grow, watching their light bulb go from dark to shining over their head. This is not only a tragic for all employees who went there in October to terminate yesterday, but all school dinners after schools. Not only that, all the friendships the kids are now missing out on. That is right, the friendships, the meaningful relationships you build with friends. We all know that. We all went to school and we had to have friends. Some of us rely on that more than we rely on our home activities with our own siblings. Like for example, when going to school, you chill with those people more than you do with your own family members. It's very different. My grandkids went there and found it great. Thank you to the staff who did a good job there. It is possible for another agency to take it over. Well, if there's other agencies or other things that are there, we need to come together and make stuff for our youth. Because without that, the problem gonna keep growing and growing. That is something we need to do and step up on that. And for the things that I wanted to also talk about on our youth development when it comes. The risk of black men and women growing up in Alaska. There's a lot of risk for us right now when it comes to our youth. There's been situations that have happened and things that have been coming up in Alaska that we are not used to seeing back then. Lack of after-school programs, as we are talking about lack of after-school programs, that is what we are doing. We just lost another one that is going on right now. That is a big one. The Boys and Girls Club, all the kids go there to have fun. That is a place for them to not venture into crime and other things. And important of mentorships, leadership, and it lower the risk of crime and also give the youth confidence. That's why people like Hardaway Lungs, we need to embrace people like that, push them to go further. Because what they're doing, they are doing conferences with the youth, they are embracing them. He's somebody that went through many difficult things in life when it comes to dealing with drugs, all type of stuff that you can think of like that couldn't even think of. But now he have changed his life. He's doing great. He's empowering youth from Anchorage, Barrow to every corner of Alaska and out of Alaska. So people like that, we need to do something, come together. Yo, Hardaway, And I need to be part of the movements of the things that you do. So we need to embrace these kids and encourage them to do better things in the community. Things people that are in the community and could help, things that we could do to help. We need to start, like I said, community leaderships, and also things like hosting safely month-to-month open mic night basketball tournaments, the shootouts, basketball shootouts. We need to bring those back too, and make sure the kids are involved as much as possible in whatever we do. Trades, when it comes to media, I'm down to host and teach the kids on when it comes to curating content, how to curate content, how to bring awareness to the community like we are doing, like I am doing, sitting here and showcasing this to the people to understand, so we can solve these problems that are in our community. Those are things that are very important that we need. Partnering with schools also. I think that is something I'll be up to, and people that are in media positions and other positions to uplift the youths. That is something we need to do. And also, mental illness is a big problem in our state. On the next video, that is what we are going to be talking about. Mental illness. It's very big on our state. And if you are new to this channel, please subscribe to the channel, as we will talk about many problems that are happening in our states and things that occur. My name is Starboy. Thank you very much for watching my channel, and I hope to see you again. Have a great day.